Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is doing well today. Today I have a chit chat, little sit down video. I'm filming this on Sunday, so it is well relaxed. So yeah, I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about albinism. If you didn't know or you haven't noticed, I do have albinism. So I have done a previous video on this subject, but I wanted to do another one, and more so this video is in, I don't even know why I'm doing so much of this, guys. More so this video is in collaboration with Vanessa Kay. Vanessa Kay is another content creator here on YouTube, and she also has albinism. So I'm not going to make the intro too long. If you want to hear a little bit about albinism, if you don't have any knowledge of it, or you know, you're just maybe curious to watch the video and learn a bit more about me, then just keep on watching. Okay guys, so as I said before, if you guys didn't know, I have albinism. You may have noticed just a little bit, a few telltale signs. You may have noticed, but I wanted to do another video on it. I don't do many videos and I don't mention it too much in my videos because I just feel like I don't want it to be a centre of attention for my channel, because it's something that I've obviously learnt to live with because it's a lifelong condition and I just get on with life. So yeah. So I do have some notes here, so I will be looking down a few times to read my notes, because sometimes when I turn the camera on my mind just goes totally blank. I do have a cup of tea here also as well. Massive cup. I'm drinking. Last night I did a story time for you guys, which you will see at some point this week, and I might have drank a little bit too much. So I've got a bit of a hangover, so I'm just drinking tea and trying to recuperate. So yes, so the first thing I wanted to touch on was literally, what is albinism? So albinism is a lifelong genetic condition, so which it affects your eyes, your skin and your hair, and it means that you're born without any or little pigments in those parts of your body areas. So pigment is what gives you colours, what gives you colour in those areas of your body. No healthcare professional, I just know the basics about albinism. Yeah, so I'm just telling you guys just basic foundation, overall definition, what is albinism. So yeah, moving on. So I wanted to sort of personalize this to myself, and the main purpose of this video was as well to get a perspective of Vanessa's experiences in her life as well, because if you guys haven't checked out her channel, you should do. She comes across as a very confident person, and you know, she's quite an inspiration to me, because a lot of time in my life I lacked a lot of confidence, and I'm still not 100% there, guys. So that was the main point of this video, was to, number one, see her experiences and, you know, have a little insight of her journey with albinism, and also to reach out to someone out there that maybe you don't even have albinism, but maybe you have a disability that is lifelong and you have to learn to live with it. So yeah, I think this video can help anyone, or even people, just to educate people. So anyways, that was like whole nother intro, sorry guys. Yeah, the first thing I wanted to touch on is the physical things that affect me. So the two physical things that personally I feel like affects me, my day-to-day life, are my eyes and my skin. So I wear glasses. I'm actually supposed to wear them all the time, like constantly everywhere, but I've just never grown up doing that. My mum gave me glasses got glasses for me when I was younger, and I would wear them all the time, but I felt really uncomfortable when I was at school, and I felt like I just wanted to fit in. I don't know if anyone can relate out there to that. I just wanted to fit in, and for me glasses were not cool, so I'll just like do whatever I can to get rid of them, lose them. Okay, I don't remember breaking any, but I've mainly just conveniently lose them. So with my skin, the only way I see that it affects me is with the fact that obviously I don't have pigment in my skin, so if I go under the sun I'll just burn. My skin would just burn and start peeling off. Literally, I can get sunburn within like 10 minutes. So sometimes the sun here in the UK is not that strong, but I generally don't really have any, like, what's the word, I don't have any strong urges to like go out anyway, so it doesn't really have that much of an impact on my life. I don't really like sit, maybe it's because of that reason, I don't really like walking around in the sun. I like, sometimes the sun here in the UK can get really intense because there's like no cool breeze with it, so it's like, oh my gosh, you feel like there's just no air. If you're from the UK and you're watching this, you know what I'm talking about. It's just like one extreme to the other. It's either too cold or too hot. But yeah, they say we're never happy, us British people, with the weather. Yeah, so those are two things. But the way I get around that is I just, like, I mean, I wear sunblock, sunscreen. Yeah, so the psychological things that okay, just a rewind actually, going back to the physical things. With my skin, my mum always put some protection on me. It was all down to my mummy, so shout out to mummy if she ever watches this video. I know she gets bored of me putting on my lipstick, so she's like, I'm not watching her videos anymore. It was all down to my mum. Like, she would always make sure I have my sunscreen on, she always makes sure I have sunglasses, she would also always make sure I have a hat or whatever it is I needed to have. She would always make sure that I had it. So it was always down to like my mum back then. At school I had a LS, yes, it's called a learning support teacher, LST. So that I would have like an extra person that would sit next to me all throughout all my classes. She would just support me, help me to read things if I couldn't read it, because my eyes do get tired at times, so I can only sort of read in intervals. So she would help me with that. And there came a time where I began to get like more self-conscious of having her, because no one else had someone else, just another teacher sitting right next to them throughout the whole lesson. And it was like, I wanted to be like naughty with my with my classmates too, so it was like I was a little bit embarrassed with having her. But that was when I became more self-conscious of things. Physically, things really affected me when I was younger. It was when I started getting into just before my teenage year, so when I was around 12, 13, that's when, you know, things started to really hit home. So fortunately for me, all of my friends followed me right from nursery all the way up to infant school, just before I went to high school, whatever you want to call it. So I always had the same set of friends, and we all grew up together, so they only knew me and I only knew them, so they never really, I don't think they perceived me to be any different, because I'd always been there and I would always look like that in their eyes. So the plan was that I wanted to go where all my other friends were going when I go to secondary school, but unfortunately the main school that everyone was going to, my posture is so bad, guys. My mum said that it wasn't a good school, she didn't want me to go to it. So I didn't end up going to that school, and I went to another school that I didn't know anyone was going to, and I was so nervous. I was so scared because I had to deal with another social situation that, you know, I was going to be stuck in for how many years. I remember just being left out, like being left out constantly. I had one particular friend that she would always like try and stick by my side and, you know, sit with me at lunchtime or whatever, but she had another group of friends that didn't like me for some odd reason, and they would always try and pull her away so that she wouldn't like play with me. Oh my god, this sounds so terrible. Guys, this is not a pity thing, you know. So I'm sorry if this video becomes a really long, you can always skip through it, but I'm just trying to give you guys that background information and, you know, tell you guys some of the experiences I went through in my life. She had that group of friends that would always like pull her away and be like, oh, come with us, sit with us, and they just didn't like me for no known reason. Didn't want to play with me. I remember sometimes just sitting in the toilet in my lunch break. The whole lunch break I would sit in the toilet, and I didn't have any friends at all. Like, I'm laughing because I don't know how to react to the whole situation because it was really sad and I would never want anyone to go through that. And, you know, I started really overly defending myself when people would say like the littlest things to me at the school, and one thing led to another, and I ended up leaving that school on bad circumstances because of my behaviour. But it wasn't because I was just a genuinely bad kid, but it was because I was almost being bullied. I was almost, you know, trying to defend myself, but obviously as a child your emotions are like up down, you don't know how to control them yourself, so it's very difficult to express yourself the way you're feeling. I think like the school liaison, where the officer was trying to help me, she was like, oh, do you want to meet other kids that have albinism, like do you think that would help you? And for me, I was never interested in that. Like, I'm not trying to say those people don't matter, don't get me wrong, but as a child you just want to grow up carefree, have fun, like your friends are having fun. You don't want so much stigmatism on yourself, like, okay, I've got this disability, I've got this thing that makes me so much different to everyone else, so I need to sit for hours hearing, talking about it, feeling all of these emotions that I don't really want to feel. And it was like they thought that would help me, and it didn't. It was the people that were around me, and I just remember always just being left out constantly in secondary school. So eventually I went to boarding school and I kind of settled there. And things weren't too bad, but I mean, it was constantly, sometimes I'd get people shout at me in the street, albino, albino, or you get people that would point, people that would laugh. I remember I used to wait for my mum outside the school gate. This was before like I started boarding school. Wait for her to come and pick me up from work, and I remember a boy walked past and he said something really rude to me, and I said something really rude to him back. Like, I can't remember what he said to me, but I know it was like to do with the way I look or whatever. And like I just responded back to him, and he took an aerosol spray that you use to like graffiti and stuff, and he went to spray it in my face. He went to spray it in my face. It was lucky I had like, it was almost like a book bag, but like a more of a grown-up one, and I quickly put it in front of my face before he could like get to spray me. But that shook me up. I mean, it really shook me up. I was so scared. If that aerosol had gone into my eyes or my face, maybe I wouldn't be able to see today. And I think that's one of the worst things that's ever happened to me regarding having albinism, like, because because I was almost attacked. You could say it was an attack. And you know, I ran down to the school because I was outside the school gate, so I ran into the school and told them what happened. I was crying, you know, I had to make a statement or whatever. I don't think they found the boy, but yeah, I think that was one of the worst things that ever happened to me with albinism. So I always had like little remarks and, you know, comments on the street, and people say stuff, people stare, people look. Sometimes I get people that are blatantly staring at me, like blatantly. They're not even trying to pretend, like just blatantly staring at me. And I'm like, sometimes I'm like, what? Especially if I'm having a bad day, I'm like, what? Like, what are you looking at? Because I'm not really an aggressive or rude person, but sometimes when you're having a bad day, you've got someone blatantly staring in your face, you're just like, you can't take it. Guys, if that's ever happened to you, then you would know how that literally feels. Moving forward, I feel that things only started to get better with my confidence when I left school, because I just hated school. I hated school because of the bullying that I experienced. I hated school because my attention span was not there at all, and I couldn't read for long periods of time. I would get headaches. I hated school. I hated school for those particular reasons, and I just couldn't wait to leave. And yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, like, I never really cried because of my condition. It was always because of the way people would tell me I'm ugly, tell me I'm disgusting, tell me I'm horrible, just constantly calling me albino, constantly just laughing at me, constantly pointing, constantly staring. I would always get so many people telling me I'm ugly, and it got to the point where I would go home and I'm like, Mum, these people keep telling me I'm ugly. My mum tell me that, oh, they're jealous. You're beautiful, look at your face, look, just go and look in the mirror, look how beautiful you are. And you want to believe everything your mum tells you, but it's like, if you have 1,000 people come to tell you you are ugly, you are horrible, and you've got one person, even though they're very close to you, telling you you're beautiful, it's like, what is more going to stick in your head, you know? So I never thought I was beautiful for a long time. And yeah, like I was saying, it's not until I left school that I was starting to come out of my shell a little bit. I went to college. I went straight to college. I did beauty therapy. I met a group of friends at college that I'm still friends with till today, and yeah, so things started to pick up then. I would go clubbing and I would hang out, you know. I was enjoying my college course because I've had a passion for makeup, beauty treatments, massage, all of that from when I was a little girl. So it's always been like in my heart from when I was so young. I just loved it. I don't know what it was, but I just loved makeup. I used to makeup. Anyway, that's not for this video. Yeah, so I was starting to like really enjoy life. I will still get the odd stare here and there, but you know, I was starting to become more confident and starting to believe in myself even more. Yeah, so moving forward and just bringing everything back to this present day, what I've written down here is, what are the things that I'm like still self-conscious about, like regarding my albinism. And I think the only thing like I can say sometimes I'm self-conscious of is my eye astigmatism. If you don't know what eye astigmatism is, it's almost what some people call a lazy eye, but sometimes my eyes move involuntary. My left eye is not as strong as my right eye, so sometimes you might see that one wander off that way or that way when I am doing my videos, especially when I'm trying to like concentrate on something for a long period of time. I don't think I have anything else that I'm really self-conscious about. I do wear fake hair. I do sometimes wear fake tan, like right now I've got fake tan on. That's not because I'm self-conscious of my skin. I've done many of videos, if you scroll down on my page, I've done many of videos with me not wearing any fake tan, but as every woman does, whether you have albinism or not, we like wearing fake tan, we like wearing makeup, we like wearing fake hair, because it just makes us feel beautiful. And it's, for me, it's not really a self-conscious thing. I love feeling glamorous. I love having lashes on. I love piling on my mascara. I love wearing 10 layers of foundation. I just love it all. I just love the whole glamorous look. And maybe it stems back from, you know, having that stigmatism to me that I'm ugly, I'm horrible, you know, not beautiful at all. So maybe that's why I have more of a passion for it, because I want to make myself feel like that. I don't know, but what I do know is that I can say to myself today, I can look in the mirror and say that I am beautiful, but only crying once, only once when I was younger, to say why I was like this. I remember like sitting in my bedroom, I must have been about maybe around 14 or 15, and I cried on my bed, and I was like, God, why did you make me like this? And I cried and I cried and I cried. I remember that was the only day I cried about my condition as a whole. I've never cried about it at all. I've cried about how I've been treated, as I said, but not about my condition. But that's the only time I can remember crying about it. But anyway, like I was saying, excuse me. So yeah, can I say that I'm 100% confident? No, but I think not everybody can say that either, whether you have a disability or not. And one thing I want to point out is that my mum never ever treated me differently to any of my brothers and sisters. Obviously it was more like, okay, you've got to wear sunscreen, maybe your brothers don't need to. I never grew up feeling different. I never grew up feeling like I couldn't accomplish anything I didn't want to accomplish. And to this day I find some things I could not read because they're so damn small, but I always find my way around them, because if I want to do something, trust me, nothing is going to stop me. Not my eyesight, not my skin, not what anybody says to me. Best things that have happened to me with having albinism, I wouldn't say like loads of like great things have happened to me because I've had this, but I mean, I can say that I've had so many lovely compliments that, oh, you're beautiful, or you know, you've got lovely eyes, or you've got lovely hair. Not my weave when I do wear my hair out. I do get lovely compliments, or I'd, you know, have sometimes people come up to me and say, you know, my daughter or my son has albinism, and you know, it's really nice to see like you're an inspiration for them, that I know that, you know, they're gonna be alright when they grow up. It's really, like, those comments and stuff really mean a lot to me, because I never want anyone to go through what I went through, you know, being in the toilet on my lunch break, not having any friends, no one sitting next to me in class, being called names, you know, feeling just isolated. I never want anyone to go through that, whether you have a disability or not. I mean, some children can be really, really cruel. And that brings me to the last bit of this video, where I just want to say to you guys, if you are going through any type of bullying or anything like that, tell someone, speak to someone, speak to your mum, speak to your dad, speak to your auntie, speak to your uncle, speak to your teachers, anyone that you have to speak to, even speak to a friend, and they could maybe speak to a teacher for you. Don't sit and be alone, because that's what I did, and that's what, you know, escalated so far that I had to end up going to boarding school, being away from my family for a week on end and not being able to see them, because my behaviour escalated so far because people didn't see that, you know, I was literally being bullied. I mean, you can't force someone to be your friend, but you can make sure that they do respect you and do not bully you, because that is not right. And yeah, guys, yeah, so that is it for this video. I want to thank Vanessa Kay so much for doing this collaboration with me, and I cannot wait. I don't know if I would have seen her video before putting mine up, but I cannot wait to see her video as well, and I hope you guys check out hers too. I will link her video down in the description box below so you guys can see her video on albinism too. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, guys. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell so you'll always be notified every time I upload videos, and I will see you soon.